Okay guys, team up with your training partner. Guard retention into wrestle ups. Training partner standing over you. Show me your ability to retain guard and wrestle your way up to top position.
Today is Wednesday, right? Wednesday morning, my second session here. Joe is running quicker sessions, around 45 to an hour max, low intensity, just putting work some of the things we work in the camp. And right now it's just time to reset the mind, refresh the body, recover any injury we have, and we build during the way to this camp, to this competition, and it's pretty much that. Everything seems right.
We finished our hard training in Austin, and then we came here. We're just doing like creativity drills and just stuff to keep the body warm. And then we've been doing 2 10-minute matches here at 10th Planet Las Vegas. Casey has been generous enough to let us use the school while we're here, so we just come in every day at like 9:30, 10 o'clock when the matches are going to be starting, and we're just training out of here and kind of coasting into the competition. So tomorrow we'll do a little bit lighter training. And then Friday probably rest or just do like a minimal sweat, and then get ready for Saturday.
Okay guys, team up with your training partner down in turtle position, finding his way back up to his feet. The man behind, keep returning your training partner to the mat. Every time you return to the mat, look to get an ADCC score with hooks in. Creativity work, mat returns.
I talked to Mo on the first, and I was like, I'm like 90% sure I can't do this. And I was like, when do you need an answer by? Because I don't want to give, I don't want to wait too long if you need to find a replacement for me. And he's like, at least a week. He's like, and I was like, okay, let's shoot for the 9th, like the day before we leave, because we were going to leave on that Saturday on the 10th. I was like, if I have good sessions up until the 9th or bad sessions, I'll make a decision by then. And I had like 2 weeks and like really a week where my stomach was manageable, and then I just used like a week and a half to get my timing back, and I was able to like have some good rounds with the best guys, with Giancarlo, with Luke, and all the bigger guys, and I was like, fuck it, let's try it. So I was like, I'm in. So we're here. I'm just trying to manage my stomach now, get through these last few sessions, and then go in and perform how I should.
So I know people think I'm bringing pressure to myself when I talk so much online, but at the same time, it's just part of my legacy. This is the way I appreciate tournaments. I like to bring more pressure, but at the same time, the outcome is not in my hands. The outcome, the only thing I can do is train hard, be ready, mentally focused, and what happens out there happens out there. I'm not in charge.
I'm a completely different grappler than I was even 6 months ago to what not even talking about 2 years ago. So I think my grappling jiu-jitsu has really evolved technically, as well as my mind has developed a lot more tactically. It's a lot of things that I've had to change, even just this year, starting from the Wagner match this year, having to work on my pacing and certain other tactical aspects of my game. So I really think I've been able to sharpen up on a lot of different areas, in preparation for this. People said, oh, you went 0-0 with a really tight match against a guy who won. But for me, I wasn't satisfied with that, So I've really been putting in the hard yards these 2 years leading up to this, and I want to go out there and dominate this time, I want it to be different, and I want people to, to remember who I am. Like right now, I'm well known, but people don't always keep me at the top of their thoughts when they're thinking about the best grapplers in the world, and I want that to change. So that's my mindset going into this tournament.
he kicked me in the balls yesterday to beat me, and the effects of that are well and truly on stand today.
Felipe is the perfect match. Everyone just complains about everything, and they're like, oh, no one wants to see this. You guys already fought 3 times. Guys who used to do Worlds used to fight all the time, like every single Pans or Worlds, and it's not an uncommon thing in Jiu-Jitsu for guys to have 5, 6, 7 matches against one another. So this will be the 4th match. Hopefully I can go out and tie the score. It'll be 2-2, but I'll have 2 submissions versus 1, so I'll be up a little bit, and maybe we could do one more for the tiebreaker. And then Yuri, he won the absolute last year, so I have to face him again. So this will be our 5th match, which no one's complaining about that, but they're just complaining about Felipe because we added the super fight. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It'll be good because I'll be competing on Saturday like usual, so people will be excited, and I'll be competing on Sunday. So I think it's fun. A lot of records to be broken potentially, on both sides. So it'll be interesting for sure.
I like fight week because it's almost like a break from the routine. Obviously we're training, obviously, people are cutting weight, we're trying to, eat right and, maintain some degree of a schedule, but it's kind of a break from, home, gym, eat, sleep, train every single day, that kind of mundane routine of a training camp, which, by those final couple weeks you start to get, or at least I start to kind of get sick of the training camp when I feel like I'm peaking for that fight and I just can't wait to come out and compete. So fight week is almost like a little bit of a mini vacation. Obviously we're still dialed in and we're focused on training, but I really enjoyed just coming out. Like yesterday we went out to the Hoover Dam after training. We went out to the lake, kind of chilled out a bit. Obviously had our morning training session, and it was just nice. You don't have any responsibilities outside of training, resting, cutting weight, and then getting ready for the tournament. So it's a little break. I always enjoy fight week.
You kind of get real close to the guys that have to go through an ADCC camp with you. ADCC camps with fucking John are brutal. So watching these guys suffer and all the things that they've been through and watching them build to a peak has been really, really fun and inspirational to watch. So just watching all the guys, I think we have 10 spots filled this year at ADCC, which I think might be a record for any team. So just watching all these guys go out and shine is going to be really rewarding.
We were driving down the strip yesterday and I was like, oh shit, there's a billboard right over there, and then we tried to take a picture of it and it switched to another poster, and then we're driving down, we're like, oh shit, there's another one, oh there's another one, and it's pretty surreal, man. I try not to think about those things too much, but when you actually sit back and I'm sure going back, in the future, if I look back on my career, it's going to be a pretty cool feeling to know that, my face was all over the Vegas Strip alongside other athletes, my teammates and everybody competing here. I think it's a pretty big deal for everybody in the sport, and yeah, it's a good feeling.
And I'm pretty sure everybody's very thankful for John, because what he does for us Sunday to Sunday is not something that anybody else in the world will do. There's no other coach in the world that works as hard as John, and he needs the recognition from athletes, and that is what we should do our best to represent him when we step on the mats.
And you've done this, kind of many times now. What's your favorite part about this week or about the competition?
It's a good question. Each part has its good and bad areas. In the anticipation, there's the thing I like most, which is planning and strategizing. I love that kind of thing. But there's also the annoyance of time passing slowly and expectation. On the event itself, I like the unpredictability of it. You just never really know. And in any big tournament, always there's something crazy happening you didn't anticipate. I love that unpredictable element and the need to be able to adapt on the spot to changing circumstances. And there's also a good feeling after the event where you've seen people go out and operate according to a plan and exhibit their skills.
Good grappling. Good session. Good session. Good to see you, Reese. Good work, Elaine. Good work, Good to see you. Thank you.